So, I'm always ready to cook something and I enjoy cooking. So, today it is exactly. I just read a comment that was put on my last post, which is trending, and it's the truth because age is something beautiful. To mature is beautiful. To have another year is beautiful. To feel great is beautiful. And what's up, Joy for Life? To continue to enjoy this thing called life, regardless of what year it is for you, and have every year just continue to compound and be your blessing, your magic is a good feeling. It's a good feeling. And I think a part of that is giving my body nutrition. There's a big difference. There's a difference between just eating because I'm hungry and giving my body nutrition. What's up? What's up? Joy for life. Whoa, that could be something. I'm cooking and you're the hopeful. So what's going on with you? Let me make sure that this doesn't happen again. And if it does, I'll be right there to catch it. I will be right there to catch it. So, what I am making is, if anyone has had the egg substitute, just egg, I make my own. And I make everything because I'm grateful I had a mother that cooked every day, really good food, lots of vegetables, lots of herbs, lots of spices. So I know great food and I love to make great food. Also with my travels, after being a flight attendant and seeing the world thousands of times, I'm grateful that I've been able to experience different flavors. So I know when I want something, I know I can make it. So with this vegan egg substitute, and what I'm going to make is almost like a rice paper egg crepe somewhat. But the first step into making this egg substitute that's just like just egg is getting these Moong Dal, which you can get at the Asian food market or like an Indian food market and possibly even your regular supermarket. It is just Moong Dals. Yellow dals, they're usually split and they're always yellow. So there's orange, there's all sorts of lentils and dal, which is a lentil, but make sure you get these, okay? And I soak them. So I took a cup of these Moong Dals and I put them in 4 cups of hot water. And so after it's soaked, they expand to this. Then it's very, very easy. All I do is blend it. So I'm going to use the smaller blender because I'm not going to blend all of it quite yet. I'm going to use some later. So what I like to do, if you have nutritional yeast, okay, thank you. That helps with flavor. However, I use like 2 garlic cloves, which the secret is pounding on the garlic clove and then putting it straight into the blender. And then I also use, because if I have the choice of fresh garlic or garlic powder, I'm always going to use fresh garlic. Same with onion. If I have the choice of fresh onion or onion powder, I'm always going to use fresh onion. And so I'm throwing my 2 garlic cloves right into my blender. Thank you for the follow. I'm getting some traction with that last post because I believe the secret to just, I guess, living youthfully is to, I don't really think about my age. Great, then go eat the eggs, Annalise. Thank you. Is I don't really think about age. I just go on. Okay. And it's not something that I consciously worry about at all. What's up, Bia? So age is just a part of this experience. And what's up, Earth? My grandmother would always say, just enjoy it. You're going to age anyway. So enjoy the process. What's up, Bea? Are you back now? Because I know you've been moving and you're taking time off from doing your sound healing. So let me know if you're back now. So I'm just making my little egg. It can be an egg substitute. It could just be a substitute. I don't know. However, I like it. And I've already started. I had soaked my dal, 1 cup of dal in 4 cups of hot water, and they expand not quite all the way. I know, because moving is such a thing. It is like a spiritual experience. And even with that, I start saying like, I'm ready to release. I'm ready to move weeks before, sometimes even a month before, because it is a huge shift. So I completely understand. So in my blender, I put 2 cloves of garlic. I'm adding 1 whole Serrano chili pepper because I do like, okay. Well, no, I don't mourn I see that aspect. However, for myself, Earth, there's all these cycles, and I don't see myself as non-youthful or out of my youth. I really believe that's a state of mind. However, I never wanted to rush to a certain age, and I always looked like a kid. So when my friends were telling guys they were 20, I couldn't say it because I looked 12, and it was me being in that moment. Also, I have had quite an extended youth, specifically being a flight attendant, because I've just been traveling and having a great time and living all over the world and exploring the world so much where I was like, okay, I've never stepped out of that realm of feeling youthful. I won't even put an age on it, but I never felt a rush to be in a space of, say, like marriage or children or buy a home. I always knew that I would feel that time and then I would do it. So I also, my parents would second this, I don't listen to anyone. So even if someone said you should do this, I'm not going to listen to you. Why am I going to listen to you? I'm me. And because of that, I've never felt like I should have listened to myself and done that. I did. That's why I started flying at 22. That's why I moved abroad. That's why I went and tried these different things that I felt were necessary for my growth. And I've never had a space where I've said, wow, I've really missed out, because I didn't. I just moved on my own accord. And I think that sometimes is a key to understand. Others are often, and I told this to my nieces, most of the time your mamas and your aunties and uncles, they're telling you what they would have done in retrospect. They're not telling you what they did do. Because I know these people. I know these mofos. I know what they did. They ain't telling you what they did. They're telling you what they think you should do because they didn't do it. And I understand there's a space for that, but there's really a larger space for just being honest and saying, this is the decision I made and this is what I've learned from it in the space that I'm at now. And there is an area of maybe protection, but withholding information isn't always protection, especially when someone is younger. And oftentimes the protection of let me not tell them this is from some sort of fear within that person. But the truth may be helpful tenfold. And I find it a beautiful space because I am definitely the cool auntie. I travel with my nieces, and they gotta watch out because these little young whippersnappers that are their age come to try to get at me. And I'm like, yo, cool, but no. But watch out because I do not discriminate. I love a youngster, but anyway, that's a completely different life. But there's a beautiful, thank you for the heart, me, Bia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's a beautiful space of being open enough that my nieces who are in their early 20s can come speak to me instead of fearing, oh, she's going to say this or she's going to shut me down or I'm only here to tell you the truth. And trust me, because I've been in these skies and these streets, okay? They think they do, Diana. Some people think they take their secrets to the grave, but they don't, because there's always people around them that knew. And I'm the one to say, wait a minute, you forgot this part of the story, because that can be even more helpful. And I'm going to drop a dime on you because these young folks need to know. You only speaking because they weren't there. I was there. So I need to be constructing what I'm going to eat. Exactly. That's the truth. Because when I say I was in these skies, from 32 to 36, 37, I was flying. So all of my adult years have been flown. I've been flying and I've been choosing where I wanted to live. And I lived abroad and left men in different countries and got to experience my growth as a woman through seeing the world, through being with me, through seeing different social structures, through breaking free of thought structures that were no longer constructive. So when I say that, it's because I've lived. I'll tell you the stories, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it because I got some great stories. I sure do. I sure do. And I got some stories about your mamas and your aunties and your grandmas because I was there too. So I like to keep it an even keel. But do I more my youth? Nah, I did what it had to do. Okay? Thank you. And it's going to stay like this. You know why? Because I don't have no crazy people around me. First of all, I can tell when you've had stress because it looks like it. Especially when choosing a partner. I've said this, I will easily leave you. People are great. But so am I. And I have to make sure I'm great. So when my lives are happening and people say, where is your favorite destination? You've been to 60 countries and I am. It's me. I am my favorite. There is nothing that is, I add to the space, including the relationship. And relationships are beautiful spaces of growth. However, I will leave because there's always more. Maybe. Don't quote me. But when I hear, exactly, I am my favorite place. I love travel. Travel, I would say, I would exchange that for university. I love the act of learning a language, learning a culture, learning a social structure, learning how things are done, because until you leave where you originate from, you believe that that's it. As far as how things are done, how business is constructed, how romantic relationships are constructed, and it's not. So I am my favorite, and in saying I am my favorite, that gives me the space of saying, before you and after you, I will be okay. Before you and after you, I will still be me. Before you and after you, I will learn something and continue to go on. So, okay, I have my 2 garlic cloves. I have 1 Serrano chili pepper. I'm also going to put 1 full shallot. Into here, into my blender. And yes, thank you, Stephanie. So there's a beauty in that, and I always wanted that. But I had spoken to my parents, and I had told my father, just thank you for the ability of the comfort to travel. Because travel can be daunting. Since I've been traveling as a child, I've never felt afraid to be somewhere. However, I understand that it can be just the simple act of going to a hotel on your own, exploring on your own, going to a restaurant on your own, being in a foreign country where you do not know the language on your own. And there does take as a small act of courage to say, I'm going to. And that small act of courage opens up a world of possibilities. And with that, I had told my dad, just thank you. Because when I moved to Maui, Hawaii, it was simply because it was one of my favorite trips as a child. My father loves the outdoors, so we would take beautiful trips to a lot of the national parks, from the Grand Canyon to not Mount Rushmore, like Old Faithful, the Grand Tetons. Most of the national parks within the U.S. I've been to. My father loved to be outside and hike and fish, and Yosemite in California was like my backyard, and the Sierra Nevadas, which is the major mountain range in California, we went throughout, and we would take beautiful road trips, and because of that, I have a love of the outdoors. And when we went to Maui, when I was like in 7th grade or 8th grade, we went for about 2 weeks for Christmas. So the week before, and also spent that time in Maui for Christmas. And I just remember seeing it and seeing how beautiful the landscape was, and just that view. It never left me. Thank you for the follow, Sammy D. Thank you for the follow, Jeannie Cox. And thank you for the follow, DMR Odell. Okay, Peso. That's the dog, Peso. Thank you for the follow, Stephanie. So after I moved to Maui, I said, Dad, I get it. The trip, yes, it added to me, but it was the fact that I saw it. It means that my mind was already expanded. And then 20 years later, I moved there just because of what I experienced. And that's all it takes. That's all it takes, is just having that thought, just seeing that it's possible. It's possible for me. And I remember thinking, wow, I would love to live here, because I do enjoy the outdoors. I enjoy the warm weather. I enjoy picking my own food. I enjoy being at the beach and going swimming and All of that is the lifestyle. Nice to see you, Doobie, that I enjoy. However, it is still amazing that 20 years later, I had those same views while living in Maui with my nieces. So now the views that I saw when I was 12, they're seeing through me. And it's this continuing pattern. Thank you, Cynthia Ann, for the follow. And that opens the world of possibilities. And I had spoken about the TED Talk that's in my link in bio that I just gave. And this TED Talk that I gave was in Germany. And I brought my niece along. And again, it's just planting that seed because that was her first time in Europe. And because I had been there, well, I had lived in Europe, but also Frankfurt I've been to hundreds of times while being a flight attendant, so I could take her around and say, this is my favorite restaurant, or let's go to the grocery store, and her seeing the ease that I just migrated through a different place implants that seed. And that's what I seek to continue to spread. That's why I gave that TED Talk. Everyone who's in this live, if you just go into my link in bio, I have the link to my TED Talk. And it's truly about what I speak about as a speaker. It's you. It's us. There's something within us that is unique in itself. And when we allow ourselves to show it, I think that's where magic happens. And as I'm speaking, I'm just spooning some of these soaked dal, which is a lentil, into the blender. And I'm going to blend it up. So yes, travel. Yes, not having crazy people around. What's up, Z? Thank you for the follow, Kaba18. Thank you. Yes, I love my natural hair too. And that was also a part of it because living in Hawaii, I'm in the water all the time. Thank you for the rose. Hold on. I need to let my dog out. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Okay, so thank you for the roses. I appreciate it. I am adding these soaked lentils along with some of the water. Okay, and I'm just going to add some seasoning. So I like to add I have that black pepper. Okay, so to this, yeah. I don't know why you can't, we're kicked off. I'm sorry to hear that. Yes, so the egg substitute, I'm just about to blend up now. So I had soaked 1 cup of Moong Dal, which look like this, in 4 cups of hot water, and they expand and they soften. It's like just egg, if you've had just egg. And then in the little blender, I put 2 cloves of garlic, a shallot, a serrano pepper. I'm going to use garlic salt to season because salt makes things taste good. A little white pepper as well as black pepper. So white pepper. So again, my travels, especially with the TEDx talk that I gave, is all an expansion of mind. And so check out here's some black pepper, and I'm liberal with all of my seasonings. I add a lot of seasoning. I do. I don't think there's a such thing as over seasoning. However, If there is, I probably do it. I'd rather over season than under season. Thank you for the follow, Bev P. And then to help it have a nice consistency, I will add, let me see, a little potato starch. Whoa, that was unexpected. Let me put this back like this, okay? All right. So, learning through travel really means, number one, taking the step to be comfortable with traveling, because there's so much that happens when you travel. Because for myself, I found that I was constantly finding things that were no longer consistent for me. And when I had first moved to London, it wasn't overwhelming. I enjoyed every moment, and it takes time for the realization of all of the differences that are beautiful and unique and will add to your life in some way. So I just added some potato starch. You can use cornstarch, you can use any thickening agent, and I'm also going to put a little bit more of the lentils in here, right? So I'm talking and I'm making this. So I added some, what else did I add? That's the dog. I added some oil, just a little oil. Let me blend this all up and I will show you the consistency. Oh, I like to add a little liquid seasoning. Now this is from Knorr, and so it's almost like, makes everything taste good. It's a good secret. So I add a little of that, and I'm gonna blend this up. So it's about a cup of the dal, some of the water that I soaked the dal in, 1 shallot, 2 cloves of garlic, thank you, 1 serrano pepper, black pepper, white pepper, garlic salt, potato starch, a little oil, and the liquid seasoning. It grinds up very nicely to like almost like a pancake-like consistency. And I have a little left in my measuring cup. So I'm just going to add all of that. Let's see. I'm gonna add the rest of the soaked dal. And then I will cut up some purple cabbage, because purple cabbage, any of these dark purple vegetables have a high iron, they're iron nutrient rich. So I will saute that with some onion and some carrot, and then add that to this mixture. And it's delicious. It's kind of, you'll see, it's delicious. Okay, so the rest of this has been added. I really want to get every single soaked dal in, And I would typically add the liquid as well, because the liquid, thank you for the follow, JD. Thank you for the follow, DM500, because the liquid is what I use to change the consistency. On there for a long time. It should be good day, Charlie Gamer. So it comes out with a consistency like this. And what I do is I just pour it into like a mason jar for keeping, like so. And now it's done. That's it. That is it. I will scrape all of it and I will cook it up, and you will see how nice it comes out. And sometimes I use this, it can be used so many different ways. You can make it like a patty to use as like a meat substitute for a sandwich. So I just made like a vegan egg mixture made from Moong Dals that are soaked. What's up, Easy P Health? I know, it's delicious. A cup of these soaked in 4 cups of hot water. And once they're soaked, they soften up, and I blended it with 1 shallot, 2 cloves of garlic, a Serrano pepper, garlic salt, white pepper, black pepper, and a little liquid seasoning. Now, that made about this much. And it's just like just egg. I also put a little bit of oil and potato starch as a thickener. So I'm going to now cut up some carrots, because I also believe the more colors that you eat, the different nutrients you have. So a carrot, I will cut the carrot. I guess it's brunch-ish, but an omelet can be, thank you for the follow, Greg, can be lunch-ish. I mean, French people always love their omelets with the salad. So this is lunch-ish. I'm now just cutting my carrot, which I will saute and add to the egg mixture. I am going to air fry some potatoes, because I always love a potato. How can you not love a potato? To a man's heart. Oh, okay. Is that what it is? GWB? I didn't know. Tell me, is that what it is? Is that how you get to a man's heart? That was not the goal at all. I can assure you. However, now that I know, I will keep that in my arsenal of how to get to a vegan man's heart. So I just sliced some carrots. I will also slice an onion, and as I said, purple cabbage, because I love, no, I'm asking, is that the way that you get to a vegan man's heart? I wouldn't have known. I'm usually not aiming to capture a man's heart. My life is about capturing me. However, this is useful information. You know what? I'm kind of making like a quiche. I'm going to change the label of this. This is quiche-like. But I'm also going to add, because rice paper makes everything delicious. And I love rice paper. So before, let me just go in the steps, because I get so excited when I start cooking that I just start talking about things that make me excited. Rice paper makes me excited. Cooking makes me excited. All of these things refer to my last post. It all just keeps you, or me, in a present youthful state. I'm not over here talking about the news and stuff to make you angry. I'm talking about some good food, how to make it, drinking water, going rollerblading, like all of that. Bea, do you want to come on to my live? Are you open to that? Let me know. So, look how beautifully I just chopped up. That's right, health is wealth, baby. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. So I have some beautiful carrots that, thank you for the follow, Linen, that I'm going to saute with an onion. And I love the different type of onions. I also love caramelized onions. Okay, I understand. I also love caramelized onions. There are some posts with me making caramelized onions. I should do that today because everything tastes great with caramelized onion. I'm gonna do that. I gotta make some caramelized onions. Because the thing is, they're so easy to make and they really make everything just taste delicious. So all you have to do for caramelizing an onion is just slice an onion thinly. I like to use a mixture of both butter and oil because butter gives a little different type of mouthfeel and the saltiness. And you just let them cook on a low heat. Now, towards the end, I do like to add a little balsamic vinegar and a little sugar, but if you just let them simmer down, they'll caramelize and get sweet and delicious, and you can put them on everything. I mean, caramelized onions, you see how my face lights up. You want to make me happy? Throw a caramelized onion onto some avocado toast. Throw a caramelized onion onto just toast or sandwich or anything. Caramelized onions make the world a better place. Thank you, Bea, for my Polaroid. I just saw that gift and I thought, oh, this is cool. So thank you for the gift. I appreciate it. Okay, now. So, purple cabbage, which I love. I love cabbage, and purple cabbage has so many nutrients. You can also use this as a natural dye. If you want to dye clothes, you can use the leaves of purple cabbage to create a very deep dye. I know, you learn something new every day, don't you? So, I also like, here's another one of my secrets. I keep the produce bags on my, what smoothie? Baby, we ain't making no smoothie. Ain't no, although I did have a sister who tried to offer me a smoothie. She was like, "Oh, do you want this green smoothie?" Thank you for the follow, Solo. She was like, "It has celery, cucumber, kale." I was like, "Oh." She said, "Cabbage, lettuce, Brussels sprouts." I'm like, "That sounds disgusting." She kept going, radicchio. No, I don't want that. That's a salad you put in a, no, absolutely not. No, Easy Pea Health, this will actually cook into like a egg-like texture. So you'll see. Stick around, you'll see. So I use these and then just throw any of the food waste in here. And I do love to compost. I am someone who does love to compost. So there's that too. So, yeah, no smoothie. Mag, how you doing, Mag? How you doing? Yes, yes, yes. I'm here cooking because I haven't cooked in a while. Okay, thank you. And you know, I do always love my delicious, good food. And from my last post about my age, this is why. As I jokingly say, I don't eat Frito boats. And I saw some review of like Dorito nachos. I'm not eating that. If I can't physically see how it's made, I know a Dorito does not come out of the earth. That doesn't need to be in my body. And no, thank you, Mag, for sharing the live. I'm not eating that. This is what I eat. This actually fuels my body. This actually has nutrients that my body uses. If it's Doritos with cut up hot links and cheese and Fritos and like, I can't even recognize it. If this is what you enjoy, then enjoy it. For myself, I don't think that that is sustenance for my body, okay? So anyway, I have the purple cabbage, I have the carrots, I have my mixture. Oh, as soon as I start sauteing this, actually now, let me start getting my potato ready because I love a potato. And the thing is, you can't really mess up a potato. And if you have, think about that. Because all it takes is really salt and pepper for a potato. You could put a potato in the microwave and make a big potato, and all you need is butter. So if you mess up a potato, you've really messed up, and you may need to reevaluate life. I'm not going to do this on here. I'm going to put this on my YouTube, but I'm going to make lemon ginger like ice cubes because I have a lot of ginger. I could also make candied ginger because I need to use this ginger. But just blend up whole lemons and the ginger and pour it into an ice cube tray. And then, thank you for the follow, Misha. Put it in the freezer. And because I'm talking a lot, I will take those out and put it into tea. So then it's just like lemon and ginger concentrated, and it's fantastic. And it evaporates and it's delicious. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the follow. Okay, so I do love a potato as a side dish, and thank you for the hearts. So I do always have some sort of potato. Maybe it's a sweet potato, maybe it's just a russet potato. I love Japanese purple potatoes, any type of potato, because who doesn't like a potato? As I said, you can't mess up on a potato unless you give me some soggy fries. And I don't like soggy fries either. If fries are soggy, I'll typically put them maybe in an air fryer, but like soggy fries, don't bring joy to my life. So the potato is just going to be the side dish. And so I am just slicing the potato in half and then coating it in a little bit of oil, a little bit of potato starch, because that will give it its crispy crunchiness on the outside. So I'm just cutting them like this. And throwing them in the air fryer. So I will, let's see, cut the other side. Right, so the potato is done. I will put a little oil on the potato, but I will use chili oil. Chili oil. So then you already have the spiciness because it's in the oil. And all chili oil is soybean oil and chili. Chili, that's it. So I do like a bit of spice, and capsaicin, which is that main agent that causes the burning in your body from a chili pepper, has so many benefits to our health, especially with our immune system. So I'm going to put a little bit of chili oil on the potatoes. Toss that around. Potato starch on the potatoes, because the potato starch will allow it to have a really crispy outside. So I've tossed the potatoes with the chili oil. Little potato starch. This is what's on outside of like when you buy frozen French fries from the grocery store. It usually has some potato starch on the outside. Toss that, and then of course I love a good garlic salt. And pepper. And like that, these will go in the air fryer. So by the time my other concoction is done, I will have my hot potatoes and I'll be ready to... Well, there's a fallen soldier. I refuse to eat any of the things that fall on the floor. I know some people do, and there's no judgment. I don't. Okay, so back to what I was doing. Thank you, A. Shepherd, for the follow. I cut one yellow onion in half, and I am just going to slice that. And I like a big rough chop of onion. I like to bite into a nice thick slice of onion, you know, a nice thick slice. So, like this type, okay? That's how I like to find my onions in food. Like a beautiful surprise. So, now I have all of my vegetables that are going to go into my omelet quiche thing. I I have my carrots, purple cabbage, onions. I'm going to saute that. Typically I would saute it in the chili oil because it gives it a little bit of kick. No, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to use just regular, I'm going to use sesame oil. Thank you, because sesame oil has a little bit of nuttiness, which I like. Okay, so I have oil in a pan. And now all of the vegetables that I have, let me turn this, cut up are going to be sauteed like so. Thank you, Bia. Me too. You know, my mom was a lovely homemaker and she always loved to cook. She would cook every day. So I take great pride in like really cooking, but kitchen, you know, you gotta, I had said this before, my mother has the best stocked kitchen, because I've gone to friends' houses and I try to make a sandwich and they don't got even a knife to cut nothing with, but my my mom will always have everything from a juicer, whatever you need. So in goes all of the vegetables. My carrot, the cabbage, the onion, all goes in. Also, at every stage, I love to, it's the truth. And I understand, because not everyone cooks like that. So I'm not going to ask for you to have everything, but the basic utensils would be helpful. At every point, I like to season. So again, my favorite is garlic salt because I love a garlic, pepper, I'm going to add, let's see. All right, so I also love chipotle chili. So I have this chipotle chili, which is, I guess, from Whole Foods, which will add a little bit of spice. And I will allow this to soften, and then I'm actually going to take it off out of the pan, and you will see why. So all of the vegetables, and also when eating something like this is all fiber. Like the cabbage is fiber, even the egg mixture, it's lentils. So it's a lot of protein and fiber that will keep you full, which is what we want. And also for any woman, menstruating women, purple cabbage has so much iron and it's great for our womb and just our health. I tend to eat well, for my skin and just for what my body needs. So I will incorporate different vegetables depending on what my skin needs or what my body needs. And for me, that's the most ideal way for me to eat. I'm hardly ever, thank you for the follow, Jerry57, just going to eat something because I'm hungry. Okay. So after the onions get a little bit soft, thank you for the likes and the follows and the shares. I like the vegetables to have a little crunch to them. Therefore, I'm not going to cook, listen, when your vegetables have no crisp, no crunch, you've overcooked them. Learn the difference. Which means when it still has a little bit of shape, it's not limp and shapeless, that's a good time to take it off of the heat. So at this time, I'm just going to pour these vegetables right into a bowl because I'm going to add them back. Now, here's the cool part. Add a little bit more oil. Because this is like an extra crispy thing. I don't even know what I've named this yet, but I have going to take rice paper, and I'm not going to soak the rice paper. I put it right in. So the rice paper will get nice and crispy, and immediately I add that egg mixture onto the rice paper. So it looks like this so far. Okay. From there, I will take the vegetables that we cooked up and actually put it right into the egg-like mixture. So now what I have is some crispy rice paper, the vegan egg mixture, and I put the vegetables right inside. You'll see, just keep watching, just keep watching. So, as that's cooking up, yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit more of the rice paper, the egg mixture on top. And another piece of the rice paper. That was just my wrist that got burned. So, maybe I shouldn't have done it like that. Because it will just continue to Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I have to hold the edges down so it actually adheres to the other side. The thing with the rice paper, it makes it so crispy and delicious. What's up, Sharon? So, this is what it looks like. This, I just flipped it over. The rice paper has gotten nice and crispy. What you see underneath is the egg mixture, and the vegetables are sandwiched in between. So I put the rice paper on the other side. That's why I flipped it, so that will get nice and crispy. And like, have you ever seen something so amazing? Now, at this point, if you wanted to add, let's say, meat or chicken or shrimp or cheese on top or in the middle, you can. The adding of the rice paper just makes it that much better. So, I love eating this. I eat this almost, well, probably for the last 2 weeks. Some variation of this almost daily. Sometimes I fold it over, so it's the same thing, but just one piece of rice paper. And you can use eggs. I just make my egg mixture, but you can actually use eggs. Rice paper you can find at any Asian supermarket. In fact, you can find it at any regular restaurant. What's up, Lamb? What's up? You know I'm always chefing it up. You know I'm always chefing it up. Exactly. Thank you for the follow, Ann Brown, and thank you for the follow, Don Shabrick. That's right, it looks like pancakes, but because I made what looked like pancake from the lentil mixture, all I did was soak lentils until they were soft and blended it with that shallot, garlic, serrano pepper, a little oil, potato starch, salt, pepper, white pepper. It's full of protein, it's full of fiber, and yeah, it does appear like a pancake. But then you get the rice paper, and rice paper is really inexpensive because it's just rice. So a package of maybe 24 to 30 pieces of rice paper may be $2, maybe $3. But rice paper, once you see how easily you can add it into anything or make your own dumplings or things like this, why not? Okay? So I'm letting the other side, let me do this so you can see. I'm letting the other side brown up, and I usually flip it, let's see, or open it up just to see if the other side is done. And again, you can see some of the cabbage inside and the onions, but I just add that rice paper because it just adds a really delicious crunch, and why not? So essentially it's done. I like to, again, still season salt and pepper at every part of cooking. You gotta season. And I still have the remaining vegetables that I can use as a side or to make this again. I can also just roll the vegetables up in the rice paper and fry them on both sides, and it's almost like a little egg roll or hope roll. Get it? I like to use my name. However it is done, it is done. It's already done. So let me check my potatoes, and then I'm ready to eat. Now that this is done, I'm going to take it right out while it's nice and hot. Okay. Let me flip this around so you can see. So you can see it's nice and crispy. Inside is the mixture with the egg mixture. Exactly. And I am actually going to... What's up, Adrian? Are you excited about the Orlando meetup? Will you be there? Because I thought you were in Florida. So there's no way I can finish all of this. I immediately cut it in half. Okay, cut that in half. Then, oh, you're in Arizona? Okay. That's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah, it is the size of an elephant egg. Okay, I've never seen an elephant egg. In fact, elephants don't lay eggs because they're mammals. But I can imagine it would be about the size of that, or maybe an ostrich egg. So my potatoes are done, and you know, I love a nice potato. Cut up the potato, coated it with chili oil to give it a bit of heat, as well as potato starch, salt, and pepper. And this, thank you for sharing the live, Deborah. This is my meal. So it's very simple. I upload all of my lives onto my YouTube. So if you go to the YouTube, Hope is Speaking, all of my live is there. Maybe I'll be coming up with a cookbook, because I love cooking like this. This is why I'm not in the streets anymore. Now, I have said I've been in these streets and skies for a minute, but this makes me happy, like going and making some delicious food that's good for my body, that nourishes my body. Thank you for the roses, Deborah Jackson, and thank you for the follow, Martha, because I made this. I know what goes into it. I know how I want it to taste. And the love that I put into it shows. So let me show you. I always love texture. Like, you hear that crispness? Okay, so we have that. The cabbage, the onion, you see it's nice and hot. And then, God, eat it with the potato. Thank you for the follow, Deborah. Now, why would you Uber Eats if you can do this? If you can help eat? Exactly. You know what? I didn't even think of that, King Kushim. I didn't think of that. But it does. Look at you helping me out. Ooh, I taste the chili oil. Hi, girl. And again, thank you, Norman. You gotta eat it when it's hot. All of that fiber, all of this good stuff. Thank you, Adrian, for the heart. Me, I appreciate it. And I like to take a bite with the potato because you gotta eat it with the potato. You have to. Mm-hmm. I'm always drinking water. I don't miss it like I want to be back because I still travel. What I do miss is the camaraderie with my crew. Like I don't know, where your food at, Norman? I don't know. This is my food. Where your food at? I'm glad it is warming your heart. Yeah, I don't miss being a flight attendant. I miss the perks. Like I miss being able to have my own line to get into the airport through security. Listen, it's always love. I miss having a designated line to check into a hotels. I miss having a car waiting for me. I miss not having to go through immigration. I miss those are the things that I say, oof, yeah, that was helpful. But do I miss the profession? Not enough to want to return. And trust me, and very shortly, I still travel. And the goal now is to not have anyone on my plane. So I just want to fly as me being a speaker and have my own jet that says hope floats. Things have always been going on. I don't know what things are going on now, but I've flew for 15 years. So I don't think that there's anything that's occurring in this day that wasn't occurring when I was flying. However, nothing bad comes to me. And I walk with a sense of protection in every moment. So yeah, I don't want to be back on the plane. In fact, when I went to Germany, and then I'm getting off because I'm going to finish this. I'm going to finish this statement and then I'm going to finish my food, okay? I thought, wow, yeah. I felt I reached my mastery, especially with the amount of time that I put in and all of the bases that I was based at and all of the countries and the things I learned. There's always a sense of mastery and a sense of when it's time for something else. Furthermore, I took retirement in 2020 at the height of COVID. So there was no idea of what would be after COVID. You know? So, listen, Lamp, you know that's all I'm going to say. You know that's all I'm going to say. Thank you for the follow, Charlie and P. So, if you refer to my last post about age, because I'll be 40 in like, what's today, the 3rd, 23 days. This is how I feel the way I feel. It's because of what I say to myself. As Lamp said, I'm always affirming nothing bad comes to me. Lessons come, but harm doesn't come to me. I love to cook and feed myself nutritious foods. I'm not around no crazy people, right? Regardless of gender. I'm definitely not going to be around no crazy nutso dude. I can tell you that much. And laughing and learning instead of saying, oh, I failed at this, because I've lived a very colorful life. I have some stories and I laugh about it and I learn. None of this is, I should have known. No, I had to go through that to know what I know now. That's a part of it. You ain't going to hear me saying I miss being 23. When I was 23, I did what I needed to do to be 23. But at this age now, I'm grown and sexy. I'm over here speaking and I'm in a different stage. So I don't mourn that time because I was flying, I was traveling the world, and I created spaces for myself that I'm proud that I've grown from. And there's so much more in life. I'm not going to mourn 10 years of being in my 20s. In reality, I don't believe I would ever go back. Thank you. Exactly. I want to go back. I just believe in every day, every year, every decade, it gets better from what I've learned, from how my patience has increased, my confidence within myself. And that is the story. Now I have something to say, and even the beauty of saying your age means that there may be some truth to what you're saying. Don't come and tell me about traveling if you're 20 and you've been traveling full time for 6 months. I think that's great. But when you put 10 whole years or 20 years or 30 years behind something, there's a callus that's built up from just the repetition. And I believe there's a beauty in that, especially with doing things for a long amount of time. So, exactly. Thank you, Charlie Gamer. That is true. It adds. And I love maturity. Now, it's going to keep looking good, okay? It's going to keep looking good. You ain't going to see me with some Velcro shoes on, okay? There's certain things that I still just am, but I enjoy it, okay? And for me, life is increasingly always getting better. What's next is the best. And I will continue to have that outlook. So I'm going to go eat this because I ain't wearing no Crocs. Those aren't sexy enough. No. You will not ever see me in Crocs. You will never see me in Uggs. What's up? Bad Sedge. I don't do that. It ain't sexy enough, okay? I'm grown and sexy. It gotta have a little sexiness to it. And I'm sure it's comfortable, but so are silk pajamas. Those are comfortable and those are beautiful. And that's regal and graceful. And that's what I am. I don't wear things for comfort. I mean, I do, but what are you wearing? Barbed wire? Whenever people say, well, I dress for comfort, what are you wearing that's so uncomfortable? Like, what are y'all in some like broken shards of glass pants? I don't know what is uncomfortable other than heels. And that's why if you go to, they don't look comfortable at all. If you go to my link in bio for the TEDx talk that I just gave, I'm not wearing shoes on the TEDx stage. I said, you know what? I'm going barefoot. I want to feel the stage. That's what I'm on, okay? So I end all of my lives with be the reflection of love, because we all come from an infinite source of love. Show up. I showed up today just to show you what I'm eating. Why it looks like this, okay? Why the skin is so soft, why the smile is so bright, okay? Why the confidence is here, why the curls are so defined. Show up. But if you don't show up, it won't happen. So all you gotta do is show up. Make it look good when you show up, okay? I don't want no, I'm comfortable, I'm in my pajamas, I'm in this shirt that has holes in it. No, none of that. I agree. My whole life has been quite an adventure, baby. Quite an adventure. Memories are it. And you always have the memory. Yeah, life is great, I have to say. And continue to make it an adventure. Don't say, this is horrible, my life is boring. If that's the case, it's on you. You are the writer of your story. You are the author of your book. You are the director of your life. If you don't like it, it's up to you to change it. And that's all it takes. And the first change is believing that you can do it. And the second change is in imagining what it'll look like. I always knew I was going to be beautiful and in shape and a Renaissance woman with all of these stories and traveled the world. And I always saw myself doing that. So my life played out in that way. But if you don't allow yourself to imagine what it'll look like, you'll just be up there with those at the clearance center at Walmart, which isn't bad. But if you want more, then see yourself having more. But you ain't gonna see me talking anymore because I'm going to eat. So make something good for yourself today. I am gonna come on later today. I don't know what time because I do what I want and I'll show up, but it's Friday. So the next time I come on today will just be motivation and stories, and follow me. You'll get the alert. Come to the live. We have a good time. Just know if you come to bring some negativity, the hopefuls, they don't play. And neither do I. I'm a wordsmith. So I don't have to use harsh language, but I know how to read you, okay? I'm going to eat. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Come back or not. Follow me or not. Subscribe to my YouTube or not. I'm bringing the food. Okay. I'll be waiting, Charlie. Have a fantastic, fulfilled, hydrated, and sexy day.